Hi, this is Kerry Artak with Wicked Stocks, bringing you your daily NVIDIA report for Tuesday, August 13th, 2024. Let's take a look at the charts. Where to begin? I'm going to start, just kind of jump right into not only the day, but the next, 2 to 3 weeks. We came off of this 95 even and 97.40 support level. I call it near-term support. In hindsight, we may see that this level actually held for more than a month, more than just a few weeks, perhaps into later year. That becomes clarified if over the next week or two we settle above 120.80. 120.80 is considered a 1 to 2 week objective now anyway, following the settlement last Thursday, actually, above the descending 1/3 speed line that is now 100.90. So 100.90 able to contain weekly lows, and above which the 120.80 level remains a 1 to 2 week objective. Right now, we're still combining it with the former channel bottom at 123.85, but as we move through time and these two diverge, it really does become a 120.80 pivot point to the upside as we move into September, October activity. On the way up, we do have 109.82, and that is a 3/8 Fibonacci. We backed away from that just ever so slightly. It is still a soft pivot point today. We could open below 109.82. I wouldn't expect 100.90. We could ease back to 103.28, for instance. That is the high of the low. But 109.82, selling pressures can build with an open below it. You can short sell it if you like. I just don't know if we'll see 100.90 today. We might. I mean, this stock volatility can spike out of nowhere, so I wouldn't put it past NVIDIA to fall back to 100.90 today. And if so, it would present a buy opportunity for the week itself into next week, and once again above which 120.80 remains a 1 to 2 week target. If we happen to push through that 109.82, 3/8 Fibonacci, or open above it, we do have 114.46. This descending channel top over the last month and a half or so can contain daily buying pressures. And I will also say it just might actually contain buying into later week. And I don't mean to kind of say, I don't mean to hedge. I'm just saying you never know exactly how the market's going to behave. You have to put it all together. I do think that having come off of the support here a week ago, and we retested it actually last Thursday, and then following the settlement above the speed line at 100.90 does point to a 120.80, a 1 to 2 week objective. But we could top out at 114.46 into later week. A fall away from here, perhaps back into the upper 90s as this 100.90 speed line drops on a day-by-day basis. I wouldn't expect it, but it is certainly possible. If we close above 114.46, and that is considered an eventuality over the next week or so, we're just another day or two away from reaching our objective at 120.80. Combined today with 123.85, able to contain weekly highs, and we can fall away from here as we move through the rest of August and into September. Closing above this low 120s, let's call it, there is a rising channel top way up here in the 160s that we will begin pointing to as our next big picture 1 to 2 month target, but we're a long way from that right now. Getting back to this chart here, we do have minor points below the market, below 109.82. You've got you've got the low from Monday at 106.26. That has a soft pivot point quality in and of itself. 100.90, if tested, can contain weekly lows. But if we happen to close below 100.90, tomorrow we retest this 95 even and 97.40 area, where we can continue to bottom out on a weekly basis, and from here round back up into the low 120s within 2 to 3 weeks of testing 95 even and 97.40. That then narrowed to within 1 to 2 weeks following the settlement last Thursday above the 100.90 descending 1/3 speed line. Now, if we were over the next week or so to settle below that 95 even level. And I do believe we have 94.40 on the weekly chart that I mentioned and described yesterday. But it looks something like this, 95 even and 97.40. If we were to close below it, we're looking for 75.60 within a week or two. And you can see how there's the potential here for head and shoulders top. We could fill this area out for a week or two, and then we'll just see where the stock goes. Will it unravel in church steeple-like hyperbolic fashion, like the NASDAQ bubble of the early 2000s? I don't see a strong case for that yet. Certainly, the market has become increasingly vertical, especially from the beginning of the year. But I don't think it is inevitable that it's going to give it all back. I will say if we close below 75.60, it's going to give a lot of it back. Back to 41.32 would be my objective, but only if we close below 75.60. I think I described it well yesterday that you can bottom pick the 95 even and 97.40 area really into September trade. And, following the testing of this area last week, we certainly could over the next week or two see a settlement above this low 120s. And as I mentioned earlier in this video, it could be in hindsight that we see that 95 even and 97.40 area actually contain longer term selling pressures. But bullish above 95 even into September, bearish below 75.60, and that would then anticipate 41.32 within a couple of months of doing so. But we're not there yet. I'm not expecting it, and I'm going to leave you with the image here for the day. This says a lot. Please click like, share, subscribe. Check out wickedstocks.com. Check out the 2 stock picks we put out every week. You never see on YouTube. Daily Triple Q, daily SPY analysis. I could go on, and you get 5 days for free at no cost to you whatsoever. So check us out at wickedstocks.com. I'll be back tomorrow with Wednesday's NVIDIA report, and you have a great evening.